Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to UI Fridays with Alyssa. That's me. Thank you so much to my team member Cindy, who made these incredible brand assets. Focus camera. They're beautiful. I've never seen such beautiful, unicorns and everything. It makes me so happy. So I'm very, very, very excited about it. Let's see the bubble minimal. Let's see. We're gonna just go ahead and do defaults. Okay. I don't know why my name tag's being cut off there. It's very interesting. Interesting. Well, today we are airing a little bit earlier. My apologies for that. There's a scheduling conflict later, so I needed to do a quick show earlier today, but it's still Friday. We're still talking about UI things, and I still love you, so we'll be fine. We'll be fine. So I have to do a shout out to the show that I was just previously on. I do Angular Air every Friday. And for those of you who only know me as UI lover, I also love Angular. And we had Eric and Dominic on Stackblitz today. Eric Simons and Dominic Elm. And they talked about Stackblitz. If you've never used it, it is an in-browser editor. But they also announced a really freaking cool feature called web containers that they have trademarked and are in alpha on. And it looks really cool. It's like a container in your browser that you can basically, it's its own operating system, and you can spin up projects. You can do like node commands or even like Angular CLI commands. Once you've installed that, it's really, really powerful. And they've even created an API to integrate with your operating system's file system, so you can like create files and save down to a local project as well. So it's really, really cool. I'm actually going to link to it in the chat. Check out that show. It was a really, really, really awesome show. I was there 3 years ago whenever Eric and Albert were just getting started with Stackblitz, and now it's really cool to see their company of 2 turn into 9 and soon to be 12. So very cool stuff. I love Stackblitz. I think the only thing holding me back from using it full time is that CodePen is really great for just super like CSS, super small snippets. But I could see Stackblitz being good for that as well. They're just tackling such large problems as a whole. But um, hmm, today, let me pull up what we're going to be working on. I want to show you. Yes, that works. I'm going to make something really large. We're going to zoom in a lot because I want to talk about a quick little animation today. Let me share my screen, put that over on the right. Share my screen. Oh, yeah. Okay. So this animation right here on this anchor with a little hello, hello, hello. I know it's super simple, but I thought it'd be really fun since today had to be such a quick show to tackle that and maybe look at the different ways that you can achieve that. So we're going to burp, 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 show it off a couple more times, and then we can go ahead and pull up. Bum, bum. We're gonna just create a new project. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see. I'm gonna we're gonna make this a little bit bigger. We need a new project. And welcome for those of you just joining. We are tackling this cute little animation, which makes me so happy. Although I don't know what's going on with the arrow. I think it was drawn in CSS. I don't know why it's got a nubbin. It has a nubbin. Maybe ours will have a nubbin. Okay, let's do it. First, save your sass for CSS. Everywhere else, be kind. Code pin. Oh, getting sassy with it. I see more people are joining the chat. Hello and welcome. Today is a very quick show. I know it's earlier than normal, but we're going to be working on this animation. So, shout out in the chat if you. I'm actually going to make this that big. I think that's a good size. Hi. I see chat saying hi. Hello. I'm gonna put you over here. Okay. So I can see you, I can hear you. And you can be bigger. What's we want CSS, SCSS. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. Yeah. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. If you're just now joining, we are working on build an anchor to nowhere as of right now, and I think it said learn more, but it doesn't. Oh, I can't spell. It doesn't really matter what it says. This is what we are. Oh, I see. Sorry. This is what we are working on. It does say learn more. And next we need to build a little arrow. So I'm going to make a bunch of these learn more links because well, I think maybe 3. I feel like there's got to be I really have no idea, but I feel like there's got to be 3 ways to do it. Okay, let's give it a wrapper div with a class of wrapper. We're gonna call out, we can hide our JavaScript for now. We're gonna call out a wrapper and we're gonna say display flex. Wow, it did not autocomplete when you expect it to. And we need it to be a column. At least that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna put these and we need to put these inside of it. And tab over and back and then save. And I need to probably name it. We're gonna say we'll call it the Arrow Bop animation because there you go. I want more I want more space and trying to think of the best way to do this. All right. Please don't hate. I'm just gonna do it because today has to be quick and dirty. But the most lively chatter will get mailed a prize. I have some CSS Tricks posters, but I also have some UI trap cards. I also have access to candy. Um, so if you have a better idea that is quick, most outer wrapper, because the name of the game today is we are going to accomplish this animation with multiple methods, but preferably quickly. Okay, so most outer wrapper, and I'm doing this to center it on the page. Again, if you have a better idea, I'd love to hear it. We're just gonna do this, but instead of a column, I'm sure I could do it actually with a column. I think we probably can. Okay, first let's try getting rid of that and showing that it works. Display flex, most out. Did I spell something wrong? And here we are. I see most outer wrapper exists. We can spare a bit more space. It is getting display flex. Oh, silly me. I didn't give it center, so why would it center it by default? Anywho, specify content center. So I think we can get this without having 2 wrappers. So if we hide the stuff for the most outer wrapper, and then I think we can say, whoa, justify content center align items center. Let me see. Yes, we can. I'm such a goof. I'm such a goof. Although I don't know if this one is needed. Is it? Save, refresh. We'll see. And save. Okay. So we have a column, which is great. We can give it a background color of sexy purple. Somebody give me a sexy purple. I'm gonna get, I mean, that's kind of purpley. This one. That one is sexy. Okay. Background color is gonna go after all this alignment stuff. And do that. And oh, that's gorgeous. Let's turn do not disturb on for the stream because I'm super distractible. Okay. I also want my color to be white, and for any and all anchors on the page, aka in the wrapper, let's turn off your underliney bits, which is, I think it's text decoration none. Text decoration. Okay. Why are you not being the color of white? Do I have to be more specific? I do. Okay. And yeah, pretty happy with that. Let's do this. So we can see all the things at once. Okay. A bit more spacing. So here's what I'm thinking. I just made this huge lemon water. It's 1 p.m. here almost. I haven't eaten yet today, so I find the best thing to do when one has not had nourishment. Just chug vast amounts of water. Okay. The next thing I want to do is give these a little bit more space, and then we're going to start working on our hover state, which again, if you're just tuning in, we're trying to achieve such sexiness as this. But I know there's got to be like at least 3 ways to do it. So we're going to do all 3 ways. I really am just making that up. I have no, there's probably 10 ways to do it. Okay. We need more space. So first thing I'm going to do is give wrapper a height. It's really hard for me to pronounce that T on there of, I don't know, 40 view height. You don't know. And then I think we want to turn this back on maybe, but instead of center, we want to say space around. That's everything I've ever wanted. Seriously, that's exactly what I wanted. And I think we're ready for the arrows and the hover states. Yeah, let's do it. I mean, a little bit more padding would be nice, maybe. Oh, I think I meant margin. Be off the edge, but yeah, that's what I want. Okay, so the arrows are gonna need wrappers, but they need to be in line. So my gut says span. I'm going for it. We're doing it. We're going with the gut today. We're not gonna contemplate our lives. We're just gonna do it. So this little arrow, I need you to save. Yeah, that it in certain applications it turns into a symbol of sorts. A symbol. I want that symbol. I don't know if that's what I want. Let's see. Arrow symbols. Let's think about it. Think about it. Like what happens if I just like paste this in? Actually this could be a little bit happier. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Cuz there's so much in here. Yes. That we're going to just give it its own line and then we can breathe a little bit. And then this needs to be tabbed over. Okay. And yeah, what does that look like? Chubby. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I don't like this. And I don't like that. I think this one is going to look exactly like that looks, which is again not what I want. Yeah, those aren't none of those. I'm trying to think of what the application is that I think it might be paper. I go to paper and I create a new doc. My tippity type. That is the symbol, which actually I don't know if it's even gonna render. Let's find out. It did, although it's rendering like this one. Oh, pickles. Okay. Well, actually, I wonder if it's dependent on hi. Welcome. I'm gonna show the people who are saying hi just so that people don't think I'm talking to myself, which is totally fine. Talking to yourself is fine too, but I welcome from YouTube, welcome from Twitch. Today we're working on this animation. Herp, 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 herp. But before we can even get to animating it, because I wanted to kind of walk through ideas of I'm doing well, Praneeth. I am doing really well. I am running the show a little bit early today because I've got some scheduling conflicts this afternoon. But I'm trying to find the perfect arrow right now, is what's happening. I really like this one used here by Turtle Guy, but I'm very unhappy with, I don't know if you can see it on stream because it's like so tiny, but I'm really unhappy with this nub that is rendered. And so I was trying to find an arrow that would satisfy. I really want it to look exactly like this. I know, I know. It's silly. Actually, I'll put this up here in the there. I want it to look like that. But I really wanted it to be text form. And I know I'm spending way too much time on what the arrow itself looks like. Um, I'm just gonna peek, sneaky peek through all these arrows real quick. If there's not one that satisfies, we're just gonna go with the one that we have. I mean, we could always go with the loop to loop arrow. That seems fine. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go with it. I don't see. I mean, this one's okay. I don't know why they're all italic. Nope. This one's kind of cute. I like that one. Let's see what it looks like. Burp, burp, burp. Yeah, he's cute. Okay, we're gonna do like one of each. So now we need to put the span. Ooh, what did I just do? Next to each learn more. And we're gonna go with that arrow on this span. This arrow on this span. And the last and final arrow. I can't get that one. This weird one. Up top. And we need to name, well, we could name the spans, but also are they're the only spans we have on the page. So, meh, to be semantic. To be semantic or not to be semantic. Yeah. I think the interesting part is going to be doing it the 3 different ways. So we will call this, we could do it based on order, but I don't want to. I just don't want to. So again, we're going with the gut today. How are you, Praneeth? I forgot to reciprocate the greeting. How are you doing on Friday? This lovely, chilly Friday. Okay. We're gonna say animation A. This one animation B, and I could be more like specific with these once I actually know what I'm doing to them. I'm good. I love it. Okay, save. These could be these could be bigger. Let's do it. Font size 18 pixels. I love how that just I need to do it on the anchor because for some reason the anchor is being snippety with me. Okay. Now anchors on hover. All of them, if you can spell hover correctly, get color change. So we'll say color, we'll make it an off white. That's probably not going to be noticeable that we're going to have to change. And then we're also going to do some animation stuff. So let's save it and check it out. Yeah, I mean, like it just is barely, it's subtle. Trying to think of the direction I need to go in. It is like 8 going to be the what I want? Not gonna be, no, that's not what I want. I need a darker white. Um, E5 maybe? That seems really gray. Oh, no, that's totally fine. And it's more noticeable, which is good. We also will want to do this is where we get into like I would want to say like transition color. Hello, Esben from Denmark. It is wonderful to see you on the stream. Hello, hello. Welcome to UI Fridays. What time is it in Denmark? Pretty late, right? It's got to be like 8. Totally throwing that out there. 1 p.m. here. Okay. So I was doing a thing with the color right. Point, I don't know, 4 seconds ease. Sure, that sounds yummy. Save it. I don't like the ease. Linear. Actually have my favorite cubic bezier of all time, but it doesn't work the best with color. It works better with motion, which is what we're about to do. Okay, sorry, got a little too excited. So I would normally like add some sort of transition. I have no idea if this is the transition. Probably ease out. I freaking don't know. I'd have to play with it around a little bit more. No, definitely just ease. So I would do this, but we're about to add some animations to the arrow. So I don't know if this like can be combined into that animation, if it should be. So our options when it comes to animating, let's talk about that. And this was a beautiful article on arrows. So we're just gonna give that a little clap clap. CSS tricks, as you all know, is where you should live if you're me. And we're gonna search for animation. 'Cause there are 2 types of animations on the web that I know of: keyframes, woohoo, and transitions, which is what we just did here with our color. Transitions are lighter for rendering purposes, although it does depend on what you're transitioning as far as like how hard it is for the browser to do it. And then there's always a keyframe, which you can give actual steps and say do this, then do that, and end here, and loop, and etc etc. And so those are the 2 different ways that I know that you can animate something. But then within those ways, I know there are even further. So I left a third option. So the first one, we're just gonna do the first thing that comes to mind for animation A. And we'll say anchor animation A on hover. And we're actually going to talk to the span that is inside of it. We're going to need this for each one. So we're going to say, I'm just going to like copy this. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. And we need it for E and C as well. Okay. Now, the first thing I would do is tell the span to be in to have a different position. Um, It's just like translate. It's X, and then transition that maybe. Yeah, let's try it. Translate X. I don't remember the syntax. It's like just pixels. You just give it a unit of where you want it to be. Let's look it up. Translate X CSS. Oops. I mean, either way. Right. Transform, translate, and then it takes 2 unless you specify, which we want to we want to specify. I mean, I think that's rotate, skew, and scale, where the flip is translate. Why? Where is it? Where is it? I know I'm not making this up. I know translate is a thing. So I was gonna give W3 schools a try because they're older than the Earth itself, but we're gonna go over to Mozilla now. I don't know why I wasn't. So transform, translate, and then X and Y. But You can say translate X. I know you can. So let's go back over here and we'll say transform, translate, and then it's not dash X. I think it's just capital X, I believe. I don't know. Let's see. Let's just see what happens. Okay. First things first, I don't know if it's a capital, so we're going to get rid of that. Also, do I need to animate it in order to see it? We're just going to do this so that we can for sure. Ooh, there. That's fine. I want to see something. Okay. I'm going to make sure that I have my selector correct. So we're going to give it a color of hot pink. Thanks, Praneeth. Yeah, okay, so my selector is correct. We are seeing the pink. But I need transform, translate, 50/50. You're not moving. Do I need to transition that? I don't think so. I think it would just like pop over to where it needs to be. Translate, transform. What am I doing wrong? Is it because it's a span? That wouldn't. That shouldn't matter in the slightest. 200, and you can do pixels or you can do percentages, so I know that's fine. Let me think about this. So when the anchor is hovered, I want the span to turn pink. I want the span to transform, translate. And I don't think that's needed. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Instead of trying to worry about it happening on hover, let's just see if we can move it in general. And then once we have that correct, we can worry about transitioning it and making it happen on hover. So instead of hover, we're going to take that off and we're going to turn it hot pink by default. Yeah, there it goes. And we are going to get rid of the transition because we don't care about that. Okay. I always get this confused. So this is Y, this is X. So this should move it. Why? Why exactly? Be more constructive with your feedback. Let's pick out the X or the arrow. Translate. What are you? Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's try changing its display. I don't. I'm going to throw something. Turtle. Darling. Turtle guy. Why does transform translate not work on an inline element? I feel like it should override its display. Like, whatever you are, I'm trying to transform you, so do the thing. But like, I was just trying to do it to a span, and unless I changed the span to display block, the transform was not appearing.
Did you try changing the display to block?
I just all right. Throw something at you. He asked if I tried to change the display to block. Okay. So it was because it was a span. My hunch was correct all along. So we're going to refresh. I'm just going to, and then I'm trying to contemplate if I want to use spans after all, but I think I do. I think I do want to use spans. But what I'm going to do is tell all spans okay. I need to talk to my spans. All spans inside of the anchor to be display by inline block and see if that works. It does. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. So apparently you can't transform translate inline elements. Good to know. But now we can go ahead and remove this because on hover, we should see it. Save. And now, okay, so what's happening here is I still have the X and Y. So we're going to get rid of this and we're going to say X, and we don't actually want it to go over 50 pixels. So we're going to say 20. Sure. Oh, yes, the sexiness of it all. Hey, Salt. For those of you just now joining, including Salt, we are working on this animation. Hey, thank you. I was told the other day that I was looking particularly emo, and I told that friend of mine that I'm actually always trying to look emo. It's just that I had just like actually only achieved it on that day. So this is the animation we want to get, and I have a feeling that we have like I said three different ways to get it. Three different proper ways. Yes, yes. I'm only missing the beanie, but we'll get there. Um, this. This is where we're at right now. She needs some love. So the hot pink was just to see if I had my selector correct. Transition all. I don't think you need transition. Yeah, you do. You okay. So I was saying I don't think you need it on hover, which I'm like 1,000% positive you don't. But what you do need it on is the span itself. So I'm going to say to the span again, I'm going to give it this just for the second. Don't judge me too harshly. It's not always going to be like this. It's not always going to be like this. Yeah, that's what we want. I'm going to get my cubic Bezier out, like ruffle through my drawer and like pull out my favorite cubic Bezier. Yes. So inside of my 1Password, I have a card for myself and it has all of my pertinent information, including my favorite cubic Bezier. So now we're going to go. Where am I going? I'm going somewhere. Right. To my transition and replace my ease. It's like, am I sure? Okay, I think that the distance is too much. I gotta. So this works really, really well on some things, this cubic Bezier of mine, but not well on everything. And if you like entered it into one of those things that like actually let you visualize the cubic Bezier, it basically goes like and folds over on itself. So that's why it's kind of like it's animating like that. It's kind of got a hiccup there at the end, which is making me laugh so hard. 20 pixels is way too much. This is more like I don't know, and I don't even know if you're gonna be able to see. Yeah, see that? It's nice on the out. I don't know about the in. Maybe it needs to be quicker. And also, I have no idea how this is like rendering on. Oh, good lord! I try to make it bigger for you. Ah! You reach that point where you're like, you've gone too far. Okay, so this is pretty good, but I'm wondering if it's too slow. And also, if we like the cubic Bezier, if I should just go back with ease. I need the CSS in zero point 0.4 seconds. That's pretty quick. I don't like okay, people in the chat, what is your favorite not cubic Bezier. You're for like whenever you're transitioning something, how long do you make it? 0.2 seconds? I know you probably speak in milliseconds and I only speak in seconds. So, um let's see. Where's the save button? I've completely lost it with this massive size. 1,000 seconds. Thank you, Salt. That's a bit snappier. I'm okay with 0.2. We're gonna stick with 0.2 for now, but I have to have my screen back. So hopefully you all didn't need it that large. I can still be larger, just not that large. Okay. So we're gonna go with 0.2 for now, but the problem is, since we're doing different animations on each one, we don't want to put this on all three spanel lands. So I think 0.2 is good speed. Oh, good. And Turtle says 200 milliseconds is life. Bye, Praneeth. See you again soon. Thanks for dropping in. Um, Turtle, isn't that the same thing? Hang on. You're gonna make me do this on stream, and now I'm embarrassed. Yeah, you can suck it, Turtle. Yeah. Okay. Okay. For those of you who didn't catch it, he was just telling me to change to milliseconds. Okay. So why is this folding over? You don't do that. Okay. Stop it. Stop. I just want you to stop. Okay. So I need to move this transition. And I actually don't want to transition all of it with the cubic Bezier. I want the color to be transitioned with ease. God, is that possible? I think it is. I think you can chain. Here we go. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Okay, so let's see. Color 0.2 seconds ease. Like this. This is what I'm wondering. And then I think to be more specific, I think maybe, possibly. Okay, we have to prove that we're doing it. How do I prove that I'm doing it? First things first, we change the color to something ridiculous so that we can see it better. Lime green. Is that even a color? Oh, there it is. And it's not even lime green. It's very like foresty green. Ugh. Okay. That one. Save it. Okay. And there's your proof. Although the span itself, wait a minute. No. Okay. They're two different elements. I'm such a dummy. So they'll learn more, although I'm assuming we're transitioning the color. Yeah. This is turtle, guys. OG work, BT dubs. This color is, God, how do I do this? Hang on. It's not listening. It's doing, the arrow is transitioning its color with the cubic Bezier. Why is it doing that? Hang on. Let's look it up. Oh, transition. CSS, multiple properties. Yeah. I mean, shorthand with multiple properties. What? What? Yeah, it's just a comma. This person's doing height and then all their stuff and then opacity and then all their stuff. What am I doing wrong? Let's look at it again. Okay, so I'm saying for my span that's inside of my anchor, I want to, let's change this to something really slow. I don't understand. What's the anchor's transition? 0.4 seconds. Wonder if I make that match. Why is it happening after is my thing. And this might be like part of like why we pull in keyframes so that we can like control. Hey, do this ease in out. Maybe. Although both of these are ease. So if I'm transitioning the color of the anchor on hover and the color of the span on hover, and they're both ease, they should match. Like no matter what my transform is doing. But they're not. If you see the learn more, it hits green before the arrow hits green. Why? Oh, here's a proof of concept. If we take off the transform for the transition, yeah, it's still jabacked. Okay, so this is what I need to solve. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna undo what I just did. We're gonna copy that line and comment it out because it's where we need to go. But right now we have to debug this. Why these color transitions don't match up. Let's go a little bit smaller so I don't lose my mind. And yeah, I wonder if it's waiting on this translate. Let's hide that save it, and then see if the colors match up. Because again, we are giving color 2.2 seconds ease to both the anchor on hover and the span on hover. So why is it doing that? Whatever you do, do not use JavaScript to solve it. Oh Lord, Chris, I never would. Like, who would? Who would do such a thing? All right, hang on. Let me contemplate my life. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Okay. I have an idea. I mean, of not how to solve it, but maybe how to debug it. So I'm gonna give span. I'm wondering if it's because I'm giving the anchor as a whole a color transition and the span within the anchor a color transition. So we're not wondering if we take off this transition completely and we say, we can actually comment out all of this, and we say on, yes, 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 yes. On anchor hover, give all spans inside of you this color. And we're gonna take that transition off and we're gonna put it back here. So we have one transition on the page and they're both spans. Like, I don't know why, but it was like because I had an element within an element I was transitioning both, like the child and the parent, that it was like causing a delay. I don't know. I don't know why, but I have kind of a solution. Let me think. What happens if I say on anchor hover now and I call out, why are you broke? Animation A? No, arrow. A goof. Call it the arrow inside of, every time I click it like jumps. It's probably because I'm zoomed in so far. And now we're going to move this transition to in, just delete that and go down here. And we don't need any of this. Where's my translate? Who has my translate? You. You have my translate. Yeah, I'm duplicating stuff here. I'm just going to put it inside of this, but this actually needs to be specific and say arrow now because I have two spans. So I'm deleting that to call out. I'm going to add it here. Okay. And instead of doing color again, we're going to let that other selector, which I don't know what happens, like if it's going to override because I have two transitions for this element. Up here, I have both spans being selected and given this color transition. And then here I have this specific arrow. I don't know what's going to happen. I worry that it's nothing good. Are you all ready to test it? I don't think it's gonna. I think something will be broken. I'm zooming in. Shut up. Okay. Hello, Nerd Herder and Loka Sama Stavasuko. Just kind of trailed off on that one. I'm going to show your names so everyone can read them. And Ed. Hi, Ed. Okay, so I think it's like for like mostly working, except for the ease out is totally gone. Oh, it's a raid. Thank you, darling. Thank you for your raid. Hello, raiders. Mwah. Today's a very short show, so I'm sorry. Sorry about that. You raided, and I'm only gonna be on for like another 10 minutes, but it's fine. It's fine. I can use your help. We are currently working on this animation. Huh, huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. I'm calling it the arrow bop. And I figured there were multiple ways to achieve it. So right now we only have one way that's happening, but the ease out isn't happening. So, Ed, how did your stream go? Was it fun? Was it a good stream? Lemon water. Okay. Hover padding to what the fuck? Oh my god. I didn't even think of that way. We're gonna try Ed's way really fast. But it doesn't need to be on this span. It actually needs to be it needs to be on the first span, I think. Oh, no, we could do padding left. Okay. So we're gonna call it's gonna be dank. On hover of animation B, we want our span arrow to have padding right, left. Yeah, I get those mixed up. Of what did you say? 10 pixels. Oh my god, is this gonna work? I don't oh my oh my god, it makes me so happy. Ed, I'm gonna show that this was in fact somebody's idea and not just me blathering. Ed had this beautiful idea and I'm leaving it. This is number 2. This is number 2. There's gonna be a way to do it. I think if I change because right now everything is in a column and they are centered, but I think if we took that off, I might have done the yeah. There. Yeah, that's totally a way. Simple. Mic drop. Thank you for that. That was beautiful and it made me so happy. And it's actually our idea number 2 for the day of how you can make this happen. Although we're going to need if I'm going to change my alignment, we need to have some padding around this, some breathing room. Yeah. Beautiful. Oh no. It's because I'm so zoomed in. All right, we're gonna have to stay at this zoom level. Transition animation. Yeah. Yeah, I do need to transition yours. You're right. So I'm gonna go ahead and transition padding. Do I have to be specific or could I just say padding? Questions for the universe. Yours might be lighter than mine. Ed, your animation might be lighter than mine because anytime you deal with like translate, like moving something on a page or rotate, like or skew, like it gets heavier. I was always told like these are heavier and harder for the browser to do. So as silly as this may sound, like padding left, this might be better. You broke it. What do you mean I broke it? I didn't break it. You broke it. This actually might be better. Why is there no space between that arrow? Let me go look at the markup real quick. Yeah. There we go. We need a third way. I don't know why this ease out isn't happening though. Maybe in the olden days, those things are supported by graphics cards now. Oh. Ed's saying that it's okay. Ed is saying that my way, my transition translate or my transform translate X is okay. And it's not the worst thing. Hey, Copperbeardy. Okay, we need a third way. My idea for a third way was gonna be keyframes, which I don't like, just because I don't know, they seem massive. They seem massive. It's like I'm moving an arrow to the right. I need a keyframe for that. Like how many? Really, you only need a keyframe whenever you have more than 2 things. A start, because right now we have a start place and we have an end place. But if we had like an in between, then we would need to bring that in. I like the sass. I actually love the sass. But okay, in all seriousness, someone comes to you and they say, "We need our anchor to do this." would you actually put in a GIF? And like, what would you do? Like, tell the GIF to like play on hover? Like, is that even possible? Can you, I don't, CSS, Ed is saying CSS is more performant than doing this in JavaScript. Well, nobody was offering JavaScript on the table. No GIF, please. I'm just like really curious if it's possible on hover to like start and stop a GIF in the web. I don't know. Okay. So if nobody's going to throw out a viable option, we're going to have to do a keyframe. I don't want to do a keyframe, but we're going to, because we need a third way. Because I said that there's got to be 3 ways. JavaScript sucks. JavaScript doesn't suck. It's just overused in the wrong places at times. We're going to copy this keyframe because your girl's too lazy to type this out. Yes, I am. And we're going to go back over here and we are going. I don't like this. I want my code to be on the right side of the screen. Use blockchain. Ooh, Turtle Guy. Turtle Guy's got something. Animate margin padding is often choppy and it can move other things around the page. It would probably also need positioning to avoid that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for this tiny use case, this is a very encapsulated use case. I was able to change how I was centering things on the page, and so it works. But you're right. You're absolutely right. In most projects, you're gonna have something else like in the flow, and you're like moving padding around. It seems, or I guess you could position it like he's saying, and bring it up out of the page flow so that it's not going to push anything else around. But then once you start talking floats, I'm out. So sometimes I wish I could JavaScript as you. Yeah, as the ed do. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do a keyframe real quick. And then if someone in the chat comes up with like another way of doing this beyond, so far we have padding and transform translate X to move the arrow over on hover. But please, by all means, if you think of something, shout it out and we'll do it. We'll make it happen. I need all of this tabbed over, and instead of element, we need our selector, which is so gorgeous and long. Okay, so now we're saying animation C, which is the anchor on hover. I want the span, which now we have to be specific and say arrow, which actually we don't need to say span on any of these. We can just call out arrow. Yep, that makes sense. I want the span to have this pulse. Yeah, sure. Let's just see it. Oh, that's gorgeous. Super slow too, 0.5 seconds. So for consistency, there. Okay. But instead of this, and now we get back to how do we move it? I'm going to go with actually physically moving it unless somebody says otherwise. So 0 is going to be 5, and then 100 is going to be move it back to where it was. Which I know is not the same thing. I know it's not the same thing. So let's take off infinite. Actually, I really don't need a keyframe for this. What do I do? Do I do this? And then I think there's a way to say for your keyframe to end on the last frame. End keyframe on the last frame. CSS. Go. Using the last frame. It's a keyword instead of infinite. Final? No. Cough positioning and animate the left. What? Wow, pair coding right there. Was wondering if anyone was already doing this. Thanks for the party. Okay, so sorry, I'm reading all this in my head. Positioning and animate the left. Gross. You could make it a given width and toggle flex start and flex in. Turtle, why don't you ever have these ideas? Why can't you be more like Ed? And then Turtle said gross. And then Gannett said, "Hi there, pair coding, and welcome to the party." Awesome. Hi. Also, I just need this one word, and then we can move on to both Turtle and Ed's idea. What the fudge is the word? It's 4 words every time. I can't find it now that I zoomed in so much. It's 4 words. Fill mode, 4 words. Okay, let's do it. So we go instead of infinite and we say 4 words. Save. And I go here. And then she ends on the last one. It still pops out. But I want to get to the other 2 ways. Turtle, you're gonna have to help me with positioning because it's been like always since I've done it. I wanna give the I wanna give the span. I wanna take the span up out of the flow. So what, position absolute? I always get these toggled. And then I want to tell it to be where it is, and then on hover, I wanna tell it to be over a little bit. Oh, Turtle said forwards. Okay. So let's go and let's try to whip these 2 out because I love this. It's so much fun. Also, here this is for you to play with, chat, in case you're into that kind of thing. Okay. And everybody was getting a fancy arrow. So Turtle Guy is gonna get this fancy arrow that I just drew from scratch. Can you tell? This one's gonna be A, B, C, D, and then this one's gonna be E. E for Ed. Actually, we'll name this one Ed, and we'll name this one Turtle. And if anybody else comes up with another way, we'll just give them that name. Okay. So, and then Ed needs a special arrow too. Pretty darn special. Okay. Herkadirka. I want you to collapse. I don't. What are you inside of? That's 100%. That's that keyframe. Who are you? Do I just have an extra bracket hanging out, or is everything gonna break? It's mad at me now. I don't know why. Did I put everything inside of wrapper? Oh dear lord. I think I did. I think I had everything inside of wrapper being selected. Nobody wants that much nesting. Nobody. And it's way too specific. It doesn't need to happen. All right. So I know it's hard to see. I'm gonna like make this a little bit like that. So I took everything out of the wrapper and now I'm going to shift tab it over up against the wall because we didn't need to be doing what we were doing and clean up a little bit. A little bit of cleaning up is always fun to do. Okay. So that's animation A, that's animation B, that is C, and that pulse belongs to C. So now we also need to do a animation turtle and hover. Can never spell it right. Can never spell it right. Arrow. Okay. And then we need to do the exact same thing, but for Ed, copy. And Turtle still hasn't told me. Is there a name for me? Salt, did you do one? What did you say? You know, my memory is like absolutely gush. I'm scrolling up to see what you did. Which one is Salt? Salt, you tell me which one you are, and then I'll name it you. I tried scrolling through the chat and I failed epically. I was doing a thing. Oh, right. Okay. So Turtle, we need to tell the arrow to be I don't know. I don't remember. I'm gonna say it's absolute. I just thought you were naming stuff. Oh no, I'm naming it after the person whose idea it was. But I can totally give you one. You just have to tell me which one you want to claim. Which janky way do you want to claim? Okay, so we are on to Turtle, which is the 4th one. Okay, yes, I know. I need to not do this on hover. I am aware of that. Did it do it? It did it. Okay. And I want to say left of 10 pixels. I really don't know if this is what I want to do. And then we want to say left of 20 pixels, something along those lines, but it's gone now. This is what I hate most about this. I don't Okay. Um, what happens if it's 0? Can I see it? Is it seeable? It is not, because it is positioning to its parent, I guess. I thought its parent was the you had it right. This man gets absolute oh, sorry, I'm reading again and not showing you what's happening in chat. This man gets absolute, the anchor gets relative. So it's because I didn't give the anchor relative that it's listening to the ether. I don't this is what I hate about positioning. Like just be absolute to your parent. Why should I have to say relative on anyways? Okay. I'm done ranting. We're gonna go and say a animation turtle, which is the parent, I think. Position relative. And then we're gonna say did it move? It did. And I don't want to see this is the other thing. Maybe I could say like right 0. Oh, fudge. I hate you so much, turtle. Because now it has to be dependent on how long the text is, which is super what's the word I'm looking for? Static, manual, like what if learn more changes to do this thing, right? Like okay, finish your comment. Your comment. Okay, I have to read left calc 100% plus 10 pixels. But you're ticking me off. Left 100%. So this is what I'm pondering, turtle. So we're at left 100%, and you're saying that adding 10 pixels to this mess is gonna fix it? I love you, but I hate positioning. We're gonna do it Alyssa's janky way, which Alyssa's janky way is hard coded for how long learn more is, which is apparently 80 pixels. Nope, 100. Nope. Maybe. Pretty close. We're gonna go with 95. And then on the animation, we're going to give it a 105 because that sounds good to me. Okay. And then we also need to do the deed. Transition. I don't know. Position or left? I don't know. We're going to try it, and then we're going to try it again. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing ever eases out. Turtle, can you please just tell me real quick in the chat? I want something to ease out for once. None of these ease out. They just pop back to where they were, which is maybe maybe you want that, but also maybe you don't want that. And the GIF is looking pretty good right now. Ed, I can't grab that. How do I? Because if I click on it, it just shows it on screen. You could Slack it to me. Yeah, if you Slack it to me or private chat it to me, Ed, I will pull it up. Ed shared this beautiful code pin with me, which is probably his way, which we're about to do anyways. Oh, finally. It is because it's on hover, which is only while your cursor is above them. All your transitions go away when you stop hovering. Yes, but we need to fix that. So how do we fix that? Okay. Thank you, Ed. You're a beautiful man. Ed is a beautiful man. His brain and his face. Okay, we're going back over to here. Doing that, and then we're pulling it up. Oh. Oh, Ed. This is the best way to end this stream. Bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, what did you do? Where's yours? Let's see. Here's yours, and we go to the bottom, I assume? Animation, can't hover, arrow, bold, transitioning the font size. We could have the arrow grow, although that wasn't the spec. The spec wants the arrow to move, not grow. Which actually I had one more. Get rid of the hover where you're defining transition. Hang, hang on. Hang on. I've got to contemplate what you're saying. Get rid of hover. So the transition lives outside of hover. Why did no one else catch this? God, I love you so much. Okay. So what he's saying is if we get rid of hover, like, yes, we will need another call out, but I don't mind because then we'll have an ease out. Okay. So that and that. Now we're saying whether or not you're hovering, when you're inside of the animation turtle, the arrow needs to transition left. Right? But wait, we still need to do it. We still need to do the left, the actual moving on hover because we don't want it moving all the time. So now when I hover over turtles, it eases out! Oh, I love it so much. Okay, I don't know how to clean this up though because I really don't want to go back through and give every single one of these, but I have to. I guess I could transition all. Props in props inside joke from my stream. Is proops a word? Or did you mean to type poops? Oh, this is much better though. So now on hover, it animates over, and when you off hover it, it also animates out, which is what we want. So what I'm going to do is, so since we're using SAS, I was thinking about doing it like this, where we use this and we say on hover, and then we give it that like that. And then, oh, this is for this one. I don't know if we can. So Turtle's Way fixes it if we have a transition, but I don't know a quick way of fixing it for the animation. So everything that I just did will work not on this one if we collapse that, but on this one. If we go here and I say the parent, hover, arrow, get rid of this, get rid of the hover, and then we put the transition on the outside of the hover and we put the padding on the inside. And I don't know if you followed that, but I think this is a way, like a little bit cleaner than what we're doing below with the two different, I mean, it compiles into the same thing, but okay, so let's make sure that I didn't break it. So this was on B. So if we get rid of that, save, and go to the second one. We're popping like it's hot. Transition padding left, which it was doing. What did I do wrong? Hold. Oh, I think I have to say arrow. Annoyed. So I have. So if I want to do it this way, I have to do that. I know there's a cleaner way of doing this, but again, time crunch and other things to do today. But let's go to B. Oh, look at that. Oh God, yes. In and out. That's freaking the way to do it. So we're going to use this syntax. And you can tell me if you hate it, and I will take your thoughts into consideration. I will do that. Okay. now we're gonna go and redo this one so that it has an out as well, because I don't wanna leave any of them broken. That would make me sad. It has a transform translate that happens. That is the magic that we need to happen on hover. And then my transition with my special cubic bezier, which goes not on hover. And we can delete this. Boop, boop, doop. Save. Oh my goodness. In and out, in and out. Oh, yes. Turtle. Gotta play the animation in reverse on the non hover. I love you so much. Seriously, your brain. So awesome. Okay. Oh frick, I didn't get to Ed's way. I don't even remember Ed's way. I've got to go look it back up. What was Ed's way? What was Ed's way? What was Ed's way? Somebody remind me. Ed had an idea. Turtle had an idea. There were ideas flying everywhere. He said you could make it a given width and toggle flex, start, and flex. And I really did want to do that. Okay, so make it a given width, toggle, flex, start, and flex end. I really wanted to do that because I wanted to see if you can transition that. I don't know. My gut says no. Okay. But first, we're going to fix the keyframe example, which really we should name. We should name the keyframe example. So instead of C, we're going to call it the keyframe example, which if I go up here and find C, keyframe. Okay. And then make sure I didn't break it. Yeah, you're still working, but it still pops out. And so what Turtle's idea was if we go to our play the animation in reverse. So I think that is the fill mode. So I'm going to do the thing again where I do the really ugly, really ugly call out of not on hover and on hover. Okay. And we go here and we paste it here. And we don't need that much breathing room. I think this is what he was talking about. I believe. Maybe. But then I also have to remove this. So animation direction, not fill mode. Forwards. So, oh, I guess I don't really need it. I don't really need all of this. Animation direction. Reverse. First things first, did I break the hover? Which one is turtles? This one. Okay, let's look at it again. Oh my gosh, yes. You know what that gets? That gets a turtle. Oh, I have Rocket. I forgot. I'm using this Mac app called Rocket. Turtle. So it's going to give me an emoji. Let's put the turtle before the arrow. Okay. And let's give him a cute arrow too. Okay. Well, cool. That was so freaking much fun. I need to go and do Ed's way real quick and then we'll wrap. But please shout out if you have any other ways. Our first way is I want to do a really quick recap. All of our arrows and all of our anchors are given a color transition here. And so that's what we're going to green, which actually I want to change that. Herpa. I wanted to change that green to a gray, which I don't know what happened to that gray. I had a gray in my life. It's E5. This is what it is supposed to be. Save. Okay. Yeah, it's subtle. It's subtle, but all of them have this gray color transition that's happening to them. The first one, we are using Translate X, which Ed says is no longer a worry. And this is where my gut instinctively goes to is, oh, you need to move something. We should transform translate. That's where my brain goes. So that would be the first way that I would try. The second way that we came up with, which Was that I think this was Ed 2. This was definitely Ed. This was Ed A. Ed 1. I don't can you we'll try it. This one I think was Ed. I'm pretty sure. I might be making stuff up. Was to do the padding left, and I had to change the way that I was positioning these, because as you can imagine, I was, like, centering them with flex, and so they were moving apart, which could be a thing, but it's definitely not what the spec asked for. So, yes, so we did the first one with transform, the second one with padding, the third one is with a keyframe, which is super overkill, but it is a way of doing it, and I think that reverse is actually broken. No? Maybe? You can use I wanna see what Ed is saying. Yeah, the 3rd did I was the hang on, let me check. We have animation A, animation Ed 1, animation keyframe, and then let's go back down and make sure. So I said animation keyframe, animation direction reverse. Interesting. I thought that was working, but it's not. I'm gonna leave a comment here. Debug why reverse isn't working. Odd. Okay. So a keyframe is another way of doing it, and this should be working. I don't know why. I'm sure I did something wrong. I'm sure. I'm sure it's on me. The next way is, and that is the keyframe in regards to that. The next way is Turtle's idea, which involves positioning. Nobody's surprised there, and then transitioning the left position, which is right here. And the that turtle. The final way, which is the way we're about to do, is, Ed said that we could give it a given width and toggle flex start and flex end. And then Ed has said you can use display flex gap 10 pixels, hover gap 20 pixels. Either way, I mean, I wanna do something flexy with this last one, so let's try it. Um, you can use display flex. I wonder if they're already flexing. Their wrapper is flexy. Hang on. I have to contemplate. Display flex gap 10 pixels on hover gap 20. Okay, so what we would need to do is this last one here that is called Ed. Animation Ed would need a display flex. So anchor, which I actually don't need these anchors here. It's really specific of animation Ed display flex and then Gap, which I love freaking Gap. I love that you're bringing that along, and that makes me super happy. Okay, so we want the gap to be 10 pixels by default, and then on hover, we don't need to call it the arrow like we did with the others. We can say gap of or gape, either way, of 20 pixels. Perfect. Now the question is, can we transition it? All of the others have a transition, so I don't know if it would be an acceptable way. Of course you can! Oh my gosh, I set out to do 3. I wanted to find 3 ways, and you and beautiful chat came up with 5 ways, and I know that there's at least 5 more. Like, that's what I love about CSS and UI. Um, some of them might be more performant. Apparently that maybe that's not an issue anymore, but I love it so much. And I am sorry that I have to run. This was such a fun show today, and you beautiful people. I have a hard stop at the top of the hour. Got lots of family things happening today that I have to prep for. Hang on, don't leave yet. Hang on, don't leave yet. Hang on, don't leave yet. Okay. Oh, also, I wanted to share just one more time. If you didn't catch Angular Air earlier, I shared the link to the YouTube, which I can just do that again. Nope. I'm like over here opening every old. I know I had it. Maybe not. Maybe not. I'll just have to re-find it. So I was on Angular Air earlier today with Eric Simons and or Simmons. I don't know how to say his last name, and Dominic Elm. And they were talking about Stack Blitz, and they actually announced web containers, which they trademarked. And it's like the coolest thing. And honestly, it feels like the future of web development. At least that's what I told my husband, and he laughed at me. But there's the link again in case you missed it. It's really, really cool stuff that the Stack Blitz team is working on. Ed had told me to wait, and I'm gonna go and see if my machine learning model is almost training to move the arrow. You're so funny. You're so funny. Gotta dip. Bye, Salt. I'm actually dipping too. So thank you all so much for this. And Ed, if you actually did build a machine learning model to move the arrow, we're gonna have you on next Friday. So come and check that out. But have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Mwah!